Hello. In this video, I am going to graph a histogram using Excel. I have a frequency distribution up here, and this is, I constructed this in a previous video if you want to go back and watch that. But in this one, I'm going to use this data and this frequency distribution to construct a histogram. So a lot of times I see students incorrectly, they highlight all this data and they're like, oh, Excel's pretty smart. Let's highlight all this data and then say insert. Histogram's just a bar graph. I'll just insert a bar graph. And this is what they give me as their graph, okay, as their histogram. I hope that you see this and know that it is incorrect, and all that it has done is it's numbered here the data value, so data value 1, that's this one, and the bar is the height of that data value. Data value 1 is 10, okay? This Excel is not that smart. It's smart, it's not that smart. So this is not the way you construct a histogram. In order to construct a histogram, you first need a frequency distribution because a histogram graphs the frequencies. So you've got to tell Excel what you want its class limits to be so that it knows how to assign those frequencies. Okay, so we did that in a previous video. I've got my frequency distribution up here. I want a bar graph of my frequencies. So I'm highlighting my frequencies and then inserting a bar graph. Okay, so there's our histogram, or the start of one. It's not completely ready here. Let's go ahead and title it. We want to make sure to label all of our graphs. So I'm going to title this, and this is we're dealing with MPGs of cars, so I'm going to title it MPGs. And we also want to get the horizontal and the vertical axis labels. So you can do this with the Add Chart element in the Chart Design tab. So when you click on your histogram, if I click off of it, it doesn't appear, but if you click on it, you should have some new tabs pop up, and you want the Chart Design tab, Add Chart Element, Axes, Titles. We'll do a primary horizontal axis, and this is our MPGs. Okay. And then we want to also add our vertical, and this is our frequency. Okay, so we got the correct labels on there. Another thing that you'll notice is that these are labeled with the data values. So this is our first frequency, our second frequency, our third. It's not corresponding to what we really want it to be, which is our class limits. So the way you change your horizontal axis labels on a histogram is that you right click on it. So I just clicked on those that I need to change, right click, select data, and on here on your workbook you should have what you want those to be, and here I would like it to be picking up this is a horizontal category axis label, so I'm click right here, okay, and I want it to label it with these values. Okay, so I clicked and dragged under horizontal axis labels. That's what I'm changing here. I hit OK, and now those are labeled with those class limits, and that's really the best you can do in Excel. I really would like to have like a 9.5 and a 16.5 and label on the beginning of the column and the end of the column, but unfortunately that's not possible in Excel, so this is the best we can do, and I think it's still very readable. Okay. The other thing we need to do in order to make it a proper histogram is we need to have bars with no gaps in between. So the way you do that is I'm going to click on the bars, and over here you see pop up, and we change our gap width to 0. We don't want any gaps between. Now you see a little gap here. It looks like a gap, but it's not. It's just a frequency of 0. So there's our histogram. I think this is so nice because you can see the shape of it, and Excel does a pretty good job of making it nice, so that it's not, by hand. You can format your chart however you like. You can make it prettier if you want to with with different designs and formats. So here's one, but make sure that you are still keeping the histogram. So here that changed that gap width. And so I need to slide it back. And so it's keeping the integrity of your histogram. Okay. Hope that helps. You can start to histogram in Excel. And I hope you have a good day. Bye.